up, Blizzard
Engage.
Nation? Wait, what? What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 103.
103, in the books.
In the books.
It will be shortly.
Huge shout out to Creative Edge and Edge VR and
Werner Electric, celebrating 75 years of excellent service.
Look at that.
Look at that.
They have provided excellent service to you guys for 75 years.
They have.
75 has Trinks been and Trinks/LG been around for 75?
Actually, they have.
Okay.
We have been around for 75, so that's a true statement.
That's awesome.
That's a true statement.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we walked through some awesomeness on the way here before we get to IFL. There's some cool things going on at Edge VR.
There really is. There's a bunch of kids here this morning, and so we asked what's happening, and they said we have summer camp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. You play games all day? And he's like, actually, no.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. It's a STEM camp, so they're learning pretty cool stuff. I mean, he was telling us about planets and the sun and all kinds of great stuff. And then you're learning in a classroom setting plus doing VR on top of it, which I think is pretty cool. And you can sign up still. There's kids that are here for the June camp.
Yeah.
But then there's a July camp and an August camp. So if you're wondering what you want your kiddos to do, go out and check out their website. I'm sure there's something about the camps out there that you could take a look at. And I'm sure our interns will share that website that you should actually go and sign up on.
Well, I had a cool email, and I think I texted Ben about it too. So the not season ticket holder, but our fan that watches strictly from Illinois, Mike Walensky, hopefully I said that right. He lives in Illinois but is in Shawano for the summer.
Oh,
so he came to military night, and then he actually emailed and said, thank you for all you do, love the show, we'll come to many more games. And he said, I think I'm going to head over to the VR arcade.
Nice.
Because he was in town for the game. So that was really cool. So it was cool to connect the dots there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and they're paying attention. That's fabulous.
So even though 8 subscribers, we know plenty of you watch the show. So
I think we're at 12.
okay, sorry.
He's one of the 12.
Yeah.
He's not the original 8.
Thanks,
He's
Mom, for the other.
He's your mom, your dad, your wife.
Yep. No, she doesn't subscribe. She just watches when we air it. She's one of those that doesn't click the button. So,
Kirsten, what is going on?
Right.
Okay.
Great weekend of football.
It was. We didn't play.
But boy, it got messy in the standings. To say this Friday's game is the most important game of the season is probably an understatement. So we are now tied with Sioux Falls.
We are tied with Sioux Falls, and
in the standings and in 1-1 in the games.
Correct.
So, yep.
Correct. So if you weren't paying attention, not only did Iowa get a win, they got, as I said to Julie yesterday, thanks for the slaughter. They really came out ahead. I mean, they were just firing on all cylinders. Great special teams coverage, some turnovers that they then got points off of. So just a great game for Iowa. So kudos to you, Mogs, for pulling off that tremendous win, because that was big. And that helped us. It helped us significantly.
Yeah, now, I mean, Quad Cities is X and 5, 7 and 5. I think,
7 and 5.
because we're 6 and 5. Sioux Falls is 6 and 5. It is crazy.
It's going to come down
crazy.
To, again,
and Sioux Falls only beat Tulsa by a point. So
right. I thought Tulsa was going to pull that off, but
Tulsa will get somebody, and I hope it's not us when we go
That's
to Tulsa.
what I'm afraid
Tulsa
of.
has a great crowd and are literally a score away from winning every single game they've lost. So
Right. They keep it pretty tight.
Yep.
And I really thought they were going to pull it off. They were ahead for, they were behind, and then they were ahead, and then they got the ball back at halftime. We really thought they were going to pull it off.
Yep.
But there was a little bit of a roughing the passer, and they weren't able then to recover after that. But
congrats to a guy that gave us a shout out on our show here, Billy. Congrats on first team clinching, so playoff spot.
Yeah.
So Frisco is in,
right,
rightfully so. So
yeah, Frisco's been a force to contend with, and they usually are. They they'll have home field advantage, no doubt.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I just don't want to go there. Sorry, Billy, but I don't want to come play you. But I have this sneaking suspicion that's what's going to happen.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Arizona is firing on all cylinders. That was a matter of time, though.
Yeah.
So Bay Area as well. So that's getting fun over there. Those two are playing outstanding.
That's going to be messy over there. Yep. That is going to be messy.
And there was an upset on that side, right, too? Yeah, Strike Force.
Oh, San Diego?
Yeah. Beat Tucson. So not necessarily an upset because the Strike Force is not that far behind, but, I mean, Tucson was slated to win 3, that game.
Yeah. All good stuff. So this is one of those things, and we've talked about this before on the show. Those of you that were fans 8 years ago where there wasn't a lot of parity in the league, it was always Arizona on top. You always knew who was going to be in the playoffs, and now that has shifted. It's shifted significantly, which to me makes it more fun to watch these games and more fun to watch the season develop. It's not a foregone conclusion 3 games in who's going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
If you like that kind of football, there's this, we'll call it, what do we want to call it? I don't know, another league called the CIF. Go watch them. And the NAL. Go watch them. We aren't like that, so.
Got it.
Yay. Ooh, that kind of sounded like a little bit of a rage, but it wasn't. It wasn't. We've worked really hard in the IFL to create parity so that we do have those games that are 1 score away, and taking the knee now or having the ability not to have to advance the ball.
Yeah.
It ends on that score, where in the past it might be more exciting if we could have duked that out.
Yeah.
We say that now, but it's the games that are close are really close. And it's an error or two that can decide the game and decide your fate.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Friday night, Sioux Falls View Party will be at Replay. So come on out to Replay Sports Bar. And then...
Does that start at 7?
7. I think 6 is what time Knapp and crew get there.
Okay.
Not the following week. There will not be a view party, even though we play. That's 4th of July weekend. So
yeah, that's tough to do.
Watch that one at home, Blizz Nation.
Yeah.
So
I will actually be in Tulsa.
Yep.
I mean, yes, in Tulsa. I was thinking Tucson. I will be in Tulsa for that game. So the girls and I are heading out there with Joey, and we're going to watch it in the stands. So I'm excited to go out there and see that arena in person because it looks amazing on the screen. So
you then headed right back up north from,
and then we'll come home and head up for the rest of the week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So maybe we'll do Blizzness on location.
We might have to do Blizzness. I'm out with family vacation on Wausau, so we'll have to figure out what next week looks like.
We could meet in Wausau and
Well, yeah, we could do that one on site, but we have to figure out next week, too. Next week's Blizzness will look interesting, Blizz Nation. Yeah. So
it's always creative.
Yes.
Because we work with Creative Edge.
Well done. Well done.
You see what I did there?
Yep.
All right. What else do we know?
It was cool if you haven't checked out our version of Red Zone, which is IFL Live, it was cool to fly through that and be able to catch different games at different points. So that's
that won't be available on Friday, so it's available usually on Saturday when there's multiple games going on. But it is pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
What else do you know?
I don't know. I don't know a lot. We're working on, as we always do in this show, behind the scenes stuff. So working on recapping with current partners and working with new partners, and while still navigating the fact that there's a season without home games left. But so
what people don't understand is we've wrapped up what we would call the operational season because our interns are now done. We don't have any home games, as Ryan mentioned, but we don't just sit back and wait for the season to end. He's wrapping up with vendors, but he and I are also talking about next season and what are we looking at from a dates perspective, and then what could we, as we've said before, what's the calendars that are out there for movies that'll be coming out so that we can set the themes. We'd like to have those themes set by the time we're going to that championship game. And that's a big deal because that's when we order the balls and everything else. So those designs have to be worked on in August and in July. So there's really no time. There's no downtime.
Yeah. That may be the Creative Edge folks this year, designing some footballs. So
be cool.
Yeah, we're getting some nods behind the camera. So
Yeah.
We haven't told them they may have that fun project. So congratulations, you're on the clock.
Let's get those in by July 1st.
The pick is in. It's Creative Edge. That's It's fun. It's someone asked me yesterday, I think when I had wrapped up playing guitar at church, is what the off season looks like, because out of curiosity for me, and I'm like,
off season.
Yeah, I don't just go golf, even though your husband has told me you should be out with sponsors, and because that's part of the gig, is hanging out with people that write us checks. But like, it's just not as stressful because you don't have the game ops pulling on you, but it still is much work. I mean, and I rewind 9 years, right, where it's a lot easier to maintain an $1,000 Ryan didn't know what he was doing relationship early on in my career than it is a $30,000 partner, right? Like, there's just different conversations and it's just different. Like, those conversations are a lot more complicated. And I mean, we've had some doozies as I rewind 9 years ago. There's been some that are like, why'd you do that? And a couple were like, if we ever find that guy in real life, we'll fight him. I know you know who we're talking about. So, yeah.
You were learning who to trust, what was real, what wasn't.
I came from selling high-end audio video to figuring out what the heck sports marketing and sales look like.
There were some doozies. You're right. Yeah. I couldn't help but laugh because there have been some great conversations where I just looked at you and went, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more complex, and some of those things take months versus, we're in. So,
right.
Yep.
Right. Well, and I get it. You know, with the economy that we have right now, there's businesses that are cutting back because they have to, right? If things aren't going well for your business, you're not going to spend money on a community outing. There's a flip side to that, though, is that we have gotten more and more exposure as more and more people are coming to the games.
Yep.
There's a trade-off there. So if they want to have a community presence, they have to ante up, if you will. If they want to be part of what we're doing for the community and have their name associated with what we're doing with the community, there's a price in that. And I get it. That's not an easy sell for you or for them. But it is a partnership that we like to continue to not stretch, meaning make them pay more every year, but really have it be something that they get the benefit of year after year.
Yeah, and even some existing ones, I understand, and I think that's one of the things I'm proud of in the 9 years here is that those budgets change, and we have to respect that. And I'd rather change a partnership package and a budget that's comfortable for someone than have them completely go away or be dreading their year with us because we've stretched them financially.
Yeah.
Now, there are things that cost money, and that's the reality. A game ball or a theme night or some of the, we'll call it big ticket items, a field, right? Right. But like at the same time, we would be counter whatever it is, we would false advertising or whatever you want to say if we didn't really truly live the partnership thing. And so those conversations are way more fun and way less high stress for me as I've gotten to do this more now, because you usually just sit with somebody who's pretty real with you and be like, it's got to be this number this year, and then you can say that's cool, but I have to change this then.
Right, I have to take this away.
So, yep.
But I'll give you this instead.
Absolutely.
And now that becomes an opportunity for someone else who may have wanted to do more.
Thing, yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
And it's exciting, right? And like huge shout out to Chris D and the PMI group, because we do behind the scenes, and we won't share them here. But Todd, we only have. Todd, you have to use our dates, so that's it. That's all we have.
Surprise!
Surprise! But we get starting. I mean, it's cool because we have line of sight to that. So to Kathy's point, this is probably the earliest, and that's just again a huge shout out to the PMI relationship. Both in she had to put holds in, and she thought of us to put holds in. I
think that's the bigger point. She thought of us to put holds in, because in the past that relationship wasn't there. So then we'd get to September, and they'd be like, not our problem.
I hope you like to play 4 Sundays, right? And we do. I mean, early on, we know we end up with a Sunday game, but we don't want a whole season of Sundays going into a school night for kids. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we have 8 dates, and that's all we get.
Yep.
So,
right.
Yeah. So we know when the IFL season is starting next year.
Yep.
We may be the only team along with someone else that's playing.
Right.
But, yeah. Good.
Cool.
What else you got?
I usually say that.
Oh, yeah.
What else do you got?
I don't have much today. I don't have anything other than, pay attention to all the IFL games. We will review, because I think Joey sent me a couple of the scenarios. What are you going to do with this? And I just went, Joey, there's so many variables yet that I don't even want to talk about the what ifs, because somebody's going to get it wrong, and then, because they'll have weighted it out wrong, and then something will happen to change what it was that we decided on was going to be the case. So it's too close right now, really, to call any kind of a final. I think it'll go down to the last 2 games, really. I think that the Tucson game is going to matter for us, but also Sioux Falls' schedule is going to matter to us as well.
Sioux Falls has a tough schedule, as do we.
Yes.
You want to win all 4, right? I mean, that's just the nature of playing a sports. But I think we have to get Friday, in my honest opinion. That's
we do.
The tiebreaker.
That's going to be that will
get Friday and win one other, and we're pretty in good shape. Obviously, you want to win 4, but I think we need to win 2 of the 4, and one of them has to be this Friday.
Well, and we
get the Quad Cities one, it gets even more messy because then we own that tiebreaker as well.
Well, that's just it.
Yep.
Iowa plays them again this weekend. So if Iowa can beat them again, that just helps us.
Right.
But if they lose to Iowa, they're going to come after us with firing on all cylinders.
It is crazy.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We have to go see a movie this week. Flash is in theaters.
Yeah.
So we need to go see that.
I don't put much warrant in Rotten Tomatoes. I have some friends that said it was decent, but decent in a way that it always feels like DC's chasing Marvel decent. Like, it's now DC's version of the multiverse. Like, we use this opportunity to get every star we thought was going to play a role ever. Like, Nick Cage was rumored at Superman at one point, and apparently Nick Cage has a headshot in there. But, all the stuff that, Tom Cruise was supposed to be Iron Man at one point. So you thought when the multiverse unfolded that you might see that version of it because they're catering to fans at that point. But, yeah.
He's got Mission Impossible. He doesn't need to be playing in the multiverse.
Yeah, he could really do Mission Impossible. And there's one more big franchise he's part of. I mean, Maverick now has the ability to carry on as well. So
right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Mission Impossible again.
Is that 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, I think it's
Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have some stuff to catch up on socially, which now we can. I don't know.
In theory, yes.
In theory, we should be
able to. I
able
have to navigate your vacations. And you run other businesses. She just doesn't hang out with Seth on Mondays with me. So,
no, there's other things going on.
Yep. So, well, thank you I should have thanked you on the 100th episode. You're the one with the nuts schedule to make this important and be part of this. So it's been pretty cool. So
it has been. It's been great.
Yep.
It does get a little crazy sometimes, but it's become my Monday thing. So it's great. I mean Wednesday.
You enjoy it too.
I do enjoy it.
Without forcing you on camera to say you enjoy it.
No, I do. I do enjoy it. I enjoy the fan interaction and the fact that we have people that are watching and say things to us. That's really cool. That makes what we do and what we say, it resonates with other people. And anytime that you have that kind of connection, even if it's with 12 people, it's a good thing. So,
yeah. Well, that's what I got.
That's what I got.
Well, stay tuned for more Strictly Blizzness.
That's not what we say.
Okay, no.
Stay tuned. What are we going to put up?
Audible.
To be continued on the end. Nice.
That every movie on the planet, we saw Spider-Verse. I took the girls, and it is. I'm not spoiling anything. It's a 2-parter, and that is Hollywood now.
Yeah,
I don't know if people are afraid of running a 3-hour movie, but everything's getting split in half, or they're just trying to maximize.
They
ticket
figure
sales.
box office twice versus box office once.
It's not even the cliffhanger. It says Spider-Man will return and Across the Spider-Verse 2, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Was it good though?
Yeah, it was outstanding.
So I should go see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Outstanding. Yep.
Okay. All right, that's what I know.
Awesome. Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him with it.
Go Blizz.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.